Are always chasing cats. Our next teller is Owen Charles, who will be telling the story of Anansi and all the wisdom in the world.
Today, I will be telling the story of how Anansi tries to steal all the wisdom of the world. Anansi, which means spider in the African language of Akan, prided himself on being clever, but knew that he was not very wise. One day, when he was laying in his web-like hammock, he said to himself, "I know I am very clever, but not that wise. What should I do about this?" Anansi came up with a scheme to steal everybody's wisdom. He would keep it to himself, and he would become the wisest man on earth. Anansi, liking his new plan, quickly climbed out of his web-like hammock to search for his materials. No sooner or later, Anansi stumbled upon a giant gourd. Anansi said, "This is the perfect size. I will use this gourd. I will use this gourd to fill all the wisdom in." And usually, when people have gourds, they fill it with water or food. But Anansi planning to fill it with wisdom. Quickly, Anansi picked up the gourd and started heading to his village. And next, Anansi went door to door, knocking and asking for advice, wisdom, and ideas. He thought he was being tricky by stealing everybody's wisdom, but everybody happily shared it with him, for they knew he really needed it. Once the gourd was full of advice, ideas, and wisdom, he decided to head home. But then, when he was heading home, he had a thought, and he said, "What if someone tries to steal all of my wisdom? Who would do such a thing?" So Anansi came up with another idea to hide his gourd filled with wisdom up in a tree where nobody can find it. So Anansi searched for the closest tree, and the closest tree in sight was a guangu tree. Now a guangu tree is a beautiful African tree. And Anansi said, "I will hide the gourd up in the branches. This is a perfect tree." Anansi used 2 of his hands to hold the gourd and the other 6 of his legs to climb up the tree. And he started climbing. But he fell. He tried it again. But he fell. He kept on climbing and climbing. But he kept on falling and falling. And just as he was getting frustrated, his son came over and simply stated, "Hey, Daddy, why don't you tie the gourd to your back?" Anansi was surprised that he didn't think of this. Anansi knew it was a good idea, but he didn't want to admit it. So as his son was standing there, he acted like he discarded what his son said. But as soon as his son left, Anansi tied the gourd to his back and started climbing up the tree. And he was able to get up there easily. And when he was up there, he realized 2 very important things. 1, he hadn't stolen everybody's wisdom, for his son had wisdom. And 2, wisdom was best used when shared with others.
Yeah.
So Anansi held the gourd up to the sky and let all the wisdom fly out. He watched it twirl and swirl and dance through the air. And that is how wisdom came to the land. The end.
Woo! Yes! All right! Good job!
Thank you, Owen, for that great story.